you kind of got your first game under your belt here. What can you say about your personal transition from recruiting coordinator to wide receivers coach?
Like anything else, it's a process. There's going to be a lot of firsts. Obviously first practice, first scrimmage, now first game. So like anything else, I just go back through and evaluate myself. What the things that I felt I did well, what are the things I need to improve on, and kind of a very similar approach to the player would take.
Yeah. What were your takeaways from the freshman receivers? It seems like Jalen, Cam, Dom, they all kind of showed something on Saturday.
Yeah, they're fast, athletic kids that are competitive. They can make plays. Obviously with them, it's a growth process too. So, look forward to them continue to develop and continue to get better.
What do you think of all the big plays? I mean, the wideouts made a lot of big plays down the field.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's that group has that capability. Each week it'll get tougher. So obviously we can't rest on our laurels. We got to continue to get better. There's little technical things that we definitely need to improve on to continue to sustain that success. But definitely excited to see a first-time out guys get out and have fun and make their plays.
After the game, Manuel said he didn't really expect them to play press and play 0 and 1 as much as they did. Was that a surprise for you as well?
It was, and it was part of basically their system. It's part of what they do. Is their MO. But we thought with what we showed a year ago with some of those guys and speed that we have, that we get a little bit different approach to what they did. But they didn't. They stayed true to form, and we went out capitalized.
How much of that was just you didn't even need to go to any other looks in the first half anyway to start being successful?
It's really at the end of the day, and obviously I'm not a play caller, but it's kind of a take what they give you situation, and that's what they made available to us, so we capitalized.
Emmanuel said that first touchdown he caught on the post, he said he pretty much improvised on that play based on what the defense was giving him.
He did. We asked him. He modified his route just a little bit, and basically was in reaction to how the defense played. So he did a good job of being a football player. And sometimes what you got to do, you can't be a robot out there. And he did a great job reacting. And him and Drew were on the same page and made a big play.
Yeah. On how much you've watched of Wyoming yet, but obviously they're big on forcing turnovers on defense. Just how big is ball security, and what are you kind of telling the guys for preparing for that kind of defense?
It's huge, and it's just kind of a theme that's been at the top of our list from the start. Taking care of the football. We want to create turnovers on the other side, but we also want to make sure that we don't give them up on our side. So it just continues along that path, and they've been a very opportunistic group. So for us, we have to highlight that a little bit more and be a little bit more, even more focused on it than we've been. But they play hard. They're good defense, great in their conference. So we definitely have a challenge ahead of us.
AJ, you were still in the recruiting role when these freshman receivers committed or signed. Just how much of a priority was that position group when you put that class together?
It was huge. We had missed on some guys a couple years previous, and so our numbers weren't what we needed them to be. So we took a big class of receivers, and then we obviously wanted to continue to make the room faster. And we went out and we targeted some guys that not only were great track athletes, but guys who were productive on the football field to go with that speed. So so now with Jalen and Cam and Dom, those guys are here and they're showing a little bit of that, and hopefully, like I said earlier, they'll continue to take that next step and continue to evolve into even better football players than they already are. So.
With Jalen and Cam, had you guys not kind of reinvested in Texas, would it have been harder to get guys that good?
Probably would. It probably would have. But our staff, Coach Finley did a phenomenal job with Jalen, big connection there, and then we team recruit as it is anyway. Coach Hill, a few other coaches did a great job with Cam getting him here, but it was definitely reinvesting in Texas and having a big group of Texas players coming here made those other guys feel comfortable.
Speaking on those young receivers, what's been the difficulty level integrating them into the offense, especially having quite a few of them?
It really hasn't been difficult to integrate them. Really, those guys are plugged in where they have in the depth, and we have opportunities for them. And so, the biggest thing for them is just adjusting to college football like every other freshman in the country. But as far as us finding ways to use them, that hasn't been difficult at all.